Hey, welcome to the Stronger Marriage Podcast with Trey and Lee.
Hey everyone, we're glad you joined us. We are got any workshops coming up
No.
that we need to talk about?
No,
we
we
actually
don't.
don't. We're kind of traveling. I was sitting here
The
thinking,
summer's traveling. We have nothing coming up.
We are traveling this summer.
August.
Yep, August is the first one.
It's been a while since we've had 2 months off and
You're
not done a
right.
workshop.
You're right. It's just such a normal thing that we always say, "Hey, we got a workshop coming up," but instead you get to catch up on our podcast episodes, right? If you're behind.
So let me tell you what we're going to do on podcast episodes this summer. We're going to do a normal podcast today, and then in the summers on Wednesdays we're going to drop little 5-minute marriage challenges to you that we just kind of call marriage quickies. They'll just be little fast ones. We'll do one a month that's kind of long and normal, and then we'll do the little just challenges for your marriage that we would love to challenge y'all to do that week. Those will start, it looks like on the 17th of June. So we may kick those off on the 17th of June and start having those run all the time. But we're excited to do this. Today we want to talk a little bit about some things that we do, even as marriage coaches, that bless our marriage. And what we mean by that is, this isn't just advice that we give to go, y'all need to do this. There's some things that we do on a regular basis that blesses us, and we would not even consider not doing these things. These are very important to us, and we feel like it makes our marriage better. Because if we're gonna promote healthy marriages, we need to have a healthy marriage. But we realize these 7 things are things that really bless us, that we need to do on a regular basis, and so we just want to go through 7 of these tonight that just kind of are things that we on a regular basis try to do.
Yeah. So the first thing is we do regular check-ins. We just kind of ask each other every few days, how are you doing? How are you feeling emotionally? Everything okay spiritually, mentally, sexually? And you may be thinking, well, that's kind of like, why do you do that? Can't you just tell when something's off? Not always, we're pretty good at sometimes just acting like everything's okay when really we may be a little stressed over something.
We get in a groove and we get our head down and we're not paying attention, and you kind of walk by your spouse and you go, how are you today? I'm good. How was your day? It was good. And so every now and then it can just go, hey, how are you doing, or how are we doing?
How are you really?
How are you really doing?
Yeah.
Is there, and I really like the thing that you said, is there anything you need from me?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we miss the fact that maybe there's something that I could be doing to bless you. Maybe there's something, maybe I could use a little more encouragement, and just one of those weeks, maybe it's just been a hard week at work, and it's like, I could use a little more encouragement, remind me that I'm being a good dad. It's been a tough week with the kids, whatever it is. And so regular check-ins are just a good way to go, is there anything that I could do to bless you this week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're a team, and if it blesses your spouse, it blesses you.
Yeah. And even if one of you has something like big going on at the moment, and you just know that they're really focused on whatever that is and having to put a lot of time and attention into that, it's good to say, hey, is there anything I can do to take a load off? Because I know you're really focused on that. Is there, so that's good. I mean, even this weekend, we're getting ready to go on a long trip next week. Usually it takes me a lot longer to pack and, just make sure everything's ready to leave the house for a week and all the things. So, you've been really good the last couple of days. Say, hey, what can I do to help you get ready? So that's great. That's nice to just do that ever so often.
Yeah.
What can I do to
sometimes
take a
you don't
off?
Want to ask. Sometimes I don't want to go, would you do this for me? And it just takes that out where you just kind of, if you just ask every now and then, is there anything you need from me? It really makes things easier and better.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Second
good.
thing
Okay.
on our list, and we talk about this, but we want to throw this out here because it's important to us. We pray together. We try to pray every day together to connect our marriage to God, asking Him to bless us, to bless our marriage. We feel like that's a game changer when we can include God in our marriage and specifically ask Him specific things that we need or things going on in this world. I mean, the Bible is pretty clear that it was Jesus that said, you don't have because you don't ask. And maybe it's as simple as saying, Lord, would you bless our marriage today? Would you help us as we travel this week not to get frustrated with one another, whatever it is. Praying together is just a really important thing. And don't let that stress you out, as in like, maybe you just need to have a short prayer before bedtime, maybe before your spouse leaves. I had a friend recently said he had a big presentation he was doing, and he asked his wife, said, would you pray for me before I leave to go do this? And he said she did, and he just felt so much peace and so much comfort. And I just thought, that is just really good.
Praying together too is honestly, it's a little bit of a way to kind of check in with each other too. Like we were talking about, if you're praying about what's on your mind, then a lot of times you'll pray for somebody that's sick that I'm not aware of, and so it just kind of helps us to keep in check a little bit there. So it's good.
Third thing that we do is we allow one another full access to our lives. We don't have any private areas of our lives. I know if you've been to our workshops, we share passwords, we share phone codes. Those are just things that we do. And it's not because we don't trust each other. It's just we want to remove anything from our marriage that Satan could be planning against us.
Yeah. Transparency really, it's a gift. It's not like a violation or whatever. I found it really interesting. Just yesterday on Facebook, somebody's account, not a Christian account, they just asked, should spouses share passwords? And I thought, I am very interested to see what the comments are here, especially since it was not a Christian-based account, if that matters. But I was really glad to see that the majority of people said, absolutely, share passwords. We have nothing to hide. There were a few people that were like, no, it's my stuff. It's my, there's no reason for me to share my password. So, but I was encouraged that most people think it's important to share passwords.
Yeah. I like what you said. Transparency is a gift. It's not a violation of my privacy or your privacy or something else. And so full access, that's marriage, and that's two people becoming one flesh. So this fourth one kind of flows into that one. Why don't you tell them what this fourth one is? We
do regular danger checks, if you want to call it that. We kind of look for any area of our marriage that Satan could be scheming to trip us up. Is there any private conversations going on? Whether it's, DMs on social media or text messages.
Friends at work.
Yeah. Is there any friendships that maybe I'm feeling a little too close to that person. It's maybe becoming a little unhealthy. Just anything that we might need to take note of. And we've even said, hey, here's my phone. Just look through there and see who I'm texting. Is there anybody that brings up a red flag to you? Or here's my social media messenger, whatever. Just look at my messages and make sure you're comfortable with everything. And it's a good boundary, we feel. Yeah.
And it all came to be from actually it was some friends, some folks that are close to us that. They allowed a person into their marriage. One of them did that was an unhealthy thing, and they said they could see it coming and realized that by the time it was there, it was kind of like, now I can't tell my spouse. And so we don't ever want to get to a position to where it's like, I've gone past the point that now I just feel like I've got to hide stuff. And so we just regularly is there any area of our lives that we're not being honest, we're not being faithful, that we got little areas so those are just areas that we just want to stay on top of and just kind of make sure that we're not doing something we shouldn't do.
Yep.
Number 5 on our list, we still plan regular date nights. Still plan them.
We do. We've been empty nesters now for
6 years.
6 years. Wow, that's crazy. 6 years.
And it feels a little like, sorry, I don't mean to butt in here.
Yeah, no,
That
you're good.
we're together a lot. We don't have to fight kids for one another's attention. So we sometimes in Empty Nest, you just kind of kick back and you go, well, we're just together all the time. Why do we still need to be doing date nights? But those are still very important because they get us out of the routine of just sitting in the chair at nighttime or doing the same thing every night. And that's not a bad thing, you know, but to plan regular date nights every 2 weeks, every week or every 2 weeks is a very healthy thing for us.
It just makes us be intentional at doing something fun. Like you said, instead just kind of get out of the routine. Let's go do something fun together.
Now that some people will go, well, that costs money. What we're talking sometimes sometimes it costs us a cup of coffee, and we go and window shop at the thrift store or an antique shop, or we simply go and take a walk through a neighborhood and look at the pretty houses and flower beds of somebody else. I mean, we're old. That kind of excites us. But it doesn't always cost money to go find something to do to spend time together.
Yeah. So be intentional about that. Put it on your calendar. You know, look ahead and early in your week and go, hey, what night, what morning, what afternoon, you know, whatever. Put it on the calendar and then say, hey, that's a date. We're not going to let anything come up.
And we do. We guard that night. When we put it on the calendar 2 weeks out, and we guard that night, and we won't allow something else to come plop itself in on our date night. And
we do take turns planning. Did you say that?
No, that's
good. It kind of just takes out the, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? We just kind of put it on ourselves. It's like, okay, I think it's your turn, right? Is the next date that's coming up? It's Trey's turn to plan, and he's going to plan something that he knows I'm going to want to do. So, and he'll run it by me and say, hey, what do you think about this? So and then the next time it'll be my turn. So
it'll be fun.
It's kind of fun to do that and take turns.
Number 6 on our list, we regularly attend church together. This is a big deal for us. Church is a priority. We know what worshiping together does for our marriage, so it's a must. We protect our Sundays. And so church attendance to us is something that we go, we do, we sit, we hold hands when we pray. When someone's leading a prayer, we worship together, we take notes together, you know, all of those things. And again, we talked about praying together earlier, but connecting God to our marriage is just really reminds us that there is more to this world than just, the 7 days a week things that we do all the time, you know, and it blesses us. And so we're not going to give that up.
Right. There's something to be said for spiritual intimacy. And so, you know, attending church, doing service projects, things like that together through our church family, all those kinds of things really help to build some intimacy there.
It does. And spiritual connection with friends that bless us.
Some people of like faith.
That's right.
That are good, positive influences for us.
They bless our marriage. They bless our family, our kids. Some of our closest friends are people we met at church that we watched their kids. They watched our kids. It was just a blessing.
Right. And we can do the same for younger families. Try to be, an encouragement to them. So it's a good thing. The last one is that we prioritize our health. It just makes our marriage better. It really does.
It flows into everything, every little area of our marriage when we prioritize our health. And that means we try to eat very healthy. We try to exercise every day. We just try to take care of our bodies because it kind of says we're in this together for the long haul. And there's some accountability in it, when we do it. And it gives us things to talk about.
It is. When we're eating the same kind of foods, when we're, we talk about our workouts, we walk together, that gives us so much time to talk and catch up. So there's just so many benefits other than just
being healthy
and feeling better. It's really just another way for us to connect.
It blesses us emotionally. It blesses us sexually. It blesses us recreationally. We talked today about what'd you do on your workout today, and we went through and shared with each other. Well, I did this, and this, and so we had things to talk about, things that interest both of us, and so it's a very healthy thing to do to try to take care of our health, because we know that it blesses our marriage in just pretty much every area out there.
Yeah, it really does.
So there's 7 things.
Yeah.
7 things that we're doing right now that we think blesses our marriage. Hope you'll think about some of these. Maybe something we sparked an interest in there that you're going, maybe we could use to do this a little bit better. You can share that with your spouse, or pass this podcast episode on to your spouse and ask them, hey, are there any areas here that they're doing that might bless us as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you all for joining us. We had a great time.
Y'all listen for the first little mini episode on June 17th.
Yeah, be out in about 10 days. Y'all have a great night or day.